أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ثم الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه الأخيار أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نيابة النون عن الضمة The replacement of Dhamma by Nun. This is the positions where instead of Dhamma, Nun becomes the sign of Raf'u. So in the text, Imam Al-AJRUM said, وَأَمَّا النُّونُ فَتَكُونُ عَلَامَةً لِلرَّفْعِ فِي الْفِعْلِ الْمُضَارِعِ إذا اتصل به ضمير تثنية أو ضمير جمع أو ضمير المؤنثة المخاطبة. He says, as for Nun, it becomes the sign for Raf'u in al-fi'l mudari, in the present tense verb, when إذا اتصل به, when it is attached to ضمير تثنية, a pronoun of dual. Okay. أو ضمير جمع, or a pronoun of plural. أو ضمير المؤنثة المخاطبة, or the feminine pronoun, the feminine second person pronoun. ضمير المؤنثة المخاطبة, feminine second person pronoun. It says هذا الموضع الرابع من علامات الرفع. This fourth position, or this fourth position of the علامات الرفع, which is النون, is actually ثبوت النون. So this is the fourth position, because we've said Dhamma, the signs of Rafu are Dhamma, Waw, Alif, and then Nun. There are four signs, and he says this is the fourth sign among the signs of Rafu, and it is said to be Nun, but actually in doing the grammatical analysis we say Thubutun Nun. Thubutun Nun, the existence of the Nun. Okay. يقول فتكون علامة. يقول here means the writer of Ajrumiya, the original writer. He says فتكون علامة للرفع في الفعل المضارع. The Nun is a sign of رفع in present tense verb إذا اتصل به ضمير التثنية, if it is attached to the pronoun of dual. If it is attached to the pronoun of dual. في الفعل المضارع دون الفعل الماضي, in present tense verb, not the past tense verb, and not فعل الأمر, and not the command verb, because the present tense verb is mu'rab, it undergoes i'rab, but the فعل الماضي, as we've learned, is construct, it is indeclinable, and the command verb or the imperative is also indeclinable. Okay. So we have, it says لأن الفعل الماضي وفعل الأمر غير معربين. The past tense verb and the command verb, the imperative, they don't undergo i'rab, they are not declinable. Okay. بل هما مبنيان. It says بل هما مبنيان, but the two of them are mabni. They are indeclinable, they do not change. والمعرب هو المضارع, and mu'rab is the present tense verb, it is the one that undergoes changes. Okay. المضارع, the present tense verb, يرفع بالنون, it is made marfu by nun, بهذه الشروط, with these conditions. إذا اتصل به ضمير تثنية, if it is attached to a dual pronoun. إذا اتصلت به ضمير تثنية, if it's attached to the dual pronoun. Okay, that is the first condition. And the second, أو ضمير جمع, or attached to the pronoun of plural, or the plural pronoun. أو ضمير المؤنث, or the ضمير المؤنث المخاطبة, or the second person feminine pronoun. Okay, all these will be expanded and explained to us. ضمير تثنية, the dual pronoun, سواء كان المذكر أو المؤنث. سواء كان لمذكر, this pronoun of dual, whether it is for two, masculine, or for feminine, it's still made مرفوع by نون. تقول في المذكر, in the masculine you say يفعلان, يفعلان from يفعل, يفعلان, they are doing, two people, masculine. Or في المؤنث, and in the feminine you say تفعلان. So the alif and nun at the end are the ضمير تثنية, ضمير التثنية. You say ضمير المثنى. The alif and nun is actually ضمير التثنية, the pronoun of dual, or the pronoun of dualization. Okay, so that is for the ضمير التثنية, يفعلان and تفعلان, these two verb structures. So if you have يذهبان, تذهبان, same thing. Okay. إذا اتصل به ضمير جمع مثل, if it is attached to the pronoun, plural pronoun also. Example of that is يفعلون, which represents the ضمير غائب. ضمير غائب is third person pronoun, like هو, whom, هما. So يفعلون is for whom, they, third person. And تفعلون is for ضمير مخاطب, second person. So أنتم تفعلون, هم يفعلون. It says كلاهما جمع, all both of them are plural and they apply here. So now how many verbs do we have? We have يفعلان and تفعلان from the شرط, which is إذا اتصل به ضمير التثنية. We have two verbs there. And إذا اتصل به ضمير جمع, also we have two verbs, which is يفعلون and تفعلون. Okay, so now we are left with إذا اتصل به ضمير المؤنث المخاطبة. We are left with the third one. So he says ضمير المؤنثة المخاطبة مثل, example, تفعلين. So ضمير المؤنثة المخاطبة is the yai after تفعل. So if you have تفعلين, you have the ضمير المؤنثة المخاطبة, which is the yai. Okay. says فالفعل المضارع إذا اتصل به ضمير تثنية أو ضمير جمع أو ضمير المؤنثة المخاطبة فإنه يرفع بثبوت النون. If the present tense verb is attached to a feminine of a pronoun of dual, or a pronoun of plural, or a pronoun of second person feminine, فإنه يرفع بثبوت النون. In that case, it is made مرفوع by the existence of the noon. So the five verbs, they are five verbs. They make five verbs. And these five verbs are يفعلان, تفعلان, يفعلون, تفعلون. They are five. الخامسة, the fifth one, is تفعلين. So if you have a verb, this is just an example. So if you have a verb like يذهب, if you have a verb like يذهبان, تذهبان, يذهبون, تذهبون, and تذهبين. These qualify as the 5 we are talking about. So in these 5, what makes it marfu is the nun at its ending. This is what makes it marfu. Okay. He says, وَيُقَالُ لِهَذِهِ الْأَفْعَالِ, and it is these 5 verbs are called al-af'al al-khamsatu. They are called the 5 nouns. Al-af'al al-khamsatu. They are called the 5 nouns. وَبَعْضُهُمْ يَقُولُ, and some people say al-amthilatu al-khamsatu. So some people call it al-af'al al-khamsa, and some also call it al-amthilatu al-khamsa. لكن أكثر الذين مروا علينا يقولون, but a lot of those people that we've seen say, they call it al-af'al al-khamsa. It is popularly called al-af'al al-khamsa. يفعلان تفعلان يفعلون تفعلون تفعلين يرفع بثبوت النون. These verbs, this format of verbs are made marfu by the nun at its end. So we say they are marfu wa alamat raf'ihi thubut النون. We are going to see some i'rab. فتقول مثلا الرجلان, you say for example الرجلان يفعلان, the 2 men are doing. In the i'rab you say الرجلان مبتدأ مرفوع بالألف نيابة عن الضمة. You say الرجلان is mubtada and it is marfu, and the sign that it is marfu is the alif. We've already seen that about the dual of nouns. We've already seen that. That is places where the alif represents the alama, just the one we just left. If you refresh back to it, you realize that ar-rajulani is a noun and it is dual. The alif represents the sign of the rafu. So we say mubtada'un marfu'un bil alifi. It is marfu and the sign is alif, niyabatan and dhamma, replacing dhamma. Li'annahu muthanna, because it is dual. Okay. Yaf'alani, the verb yaf'alani is part of the al-af'al al-khamsa. And so we say fi'lun mudari'un. It is a present tense verb, marfu'un, and it's nominative. Wa alamatu raf'ihi thubutun nun. And the sign that it is marfu' is the thubutun nun, the existence of the nun. Wal alifu fa'ilun. And in the verb, the alif represents the fa'il, the doer. So yaf'alani, if you have yaf'al, the alif after attached to the lam is representing the fa'il. And we call it al-alif al-muthanna or alif al-ithnain appropriately. So the alif in the verb is alif al-ithnain and it is representing the fa'il. And the nun at the end is the alama of it being raf'un. You see, there is a difference between the i'rab of the dual of the noun and the i'rab of the dual of the verb. You need to take very good notice of that. وَتَقُولُ, and you say al-mar'atani taf'alani, the 2 women are doing. So al-mar'atani mubtada'un marfu'un wa alamatu raf'ihi al-alifu niyabatan an ad-dhamma. You realize here that it's a noun, and so the sign that it is marfu', a dual noun, the sign that shows us that it is marfu' is the alif instead, the alif that comes before the nun. لِأَنَّهُ مُثَنَّى, he clarifies to us, because it is dual. Okay. تَفْعَلَانِ, we say فِعْلٌ مُضَارِعٌ. تَفْعَلَانِ is a present tense verb, marfu'un, it is marfu', but then بِثُبُوتِ النُّونِ, it is marfu' because of the existence of the nun. وَالْأَلِفُ فَاعِلٌ, and the alif, the one I said is called alif al-ithnain, is the fa'il, is the doer. Okay, if you have a sentence like الرجال يفعلون, الرجال مبتدأ مرفوع بالضمة. الرجال is اسم مفرد, so alama is ضمة. So we say مبتدأ مرفوع وعلامة رفعه الضمة الظاهرة على آخره لأنه جمع تكسير, because it is broken plural, which we've seen just in the مواضع الضمة. And he says يفعلون فعل مضارع. يفعلون is a present tense verb. مرفوع and is nominative. وعلامة رفعه, and the sign that يفعلون is مرفوع is ثبوت النون. ثبوت النون is the existence of the noon. والواو فاعل, and واو becomes the doer, and this واو is called واو الجماعة. واو الجماعة, that is the واو of the plural. Okay. وتقول أنتم تفعلون. قال الله تعالى وأنتم تفعلون. سورة البقرة آية 22. And here أنتم becomes مبتدأ. Let me actually do the أنتم becomes ضمير مبني على السكون في محل رفع مبتدأ, because it's a pronoun and pronouns are indeclinable. So we say it is indeclinable, but it is in the position of a subject, which is supposed to be marfu. Say antum, we say antum damirun mabni ala sukun. It is construct, and the sign it takes is sukun. Mabni ala sukun. في محل رفع مبتدأ, but here he simplifies it and he says مبتدأ. Okay, so تفعلون فعل مضارع. تفعلون is a present tense verb. وعلامة رفعه, and the sign of it being nominative is ثبوت النون, is the existence of the noon. والواو فاعل, and واو is the doer. The واو here again is واو الجماعة, is the doer. Okay. بكي تفعلين, we are left with تفعلين. So تقول أنت تفعلين, you are talking to a lady, so you say you are doing, like you say أنت تذهبين, أنت تأكلين. So أنت here is also مبتدأ, but its actual إعراب is أنت ضمير مبني على الكسر, مبني على الكسر في محل رفع مبتدأ. Okay. تفعلين فعل مضارع مرفوع بثبوت النون. تفعلين is a present tense verb and it is nominative, and the sign that it is nominative is the noon. Okay. والياء فاعل, and the ya here is the fa'il. It represents the doer. So here we say ياء المخاطبة. ياء المخاطبة. عفوا ياء المخاطبة. The one ya of the second person feminine. ياء المخاطبة. ما هو الدليل على أنه لا يرفع بالنون إلا هذه? What is the proof that we don't make any other noun marfu with noon except these five? We don't make any other word nominative with noon, any other word nominative with noon except these five. What is the proof? It says الدليل التتبع والاستقراء. The same thing. Following the scholars' work, the Arabs' works, and also researching, doing inductive reasoning into their speech. لم نجد في كلام العرب شيئا مرفوعا بثبوت النون إلا هذه الأفعال. We didn't find in the Arab works or Arab words or their speech any word that is made nominative with noon except these verbs. التي يعبر عنها, which are called or which are referred to as بالأفعال الخمسة, as the five verbs. فهذه ترفع بثبوت النون. These five verbs are made مرفوع by the existence of the noon. والواو فاعل, and واو is فاعل. والله أعلم. الله أعلى وأعلم, and Allah knows best. Okay, so we realized that in Arabic we have al-asma'ul khamsa, and then also we have al-af'alul khamsa. We need to master all these things in their grammatical rulings. Okay, may Allah grant us beneficial knowledge and make our knowledge benefit the ummah at large. Allahumma allimna ma yanfa'una wanfa'na bima allamtana wazidna ilman ya rabbal alamin, ya Rabbi Musa wa Harun wa Isa wa Muhammadin Rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. أكرمنا بقوة الحفظ والفهم والمعرفة والحكمة. آمين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين.